the re-entry journey. What would be one word to describe this journey?
Enriching.
Unapologeticness.
Elevating.
Resilience.
I say transformation.
Intentional.
Blessed.
Rebirth.
The re-entry journey, the re-entry journey, the re-entry journey, the re-entry journey. All right. Y'all know what time it is. Yes, I'm back. I'm right back at you. We got another episode of the re-entry journey. And tonight, our guest has the House of Dreams re-entry program. Miss Angela Antoine is here to share her story, her works with us, so we can all welcome her as a guest. We appreciate her coming on, taking the time out to share her story, share what she's doing in the community in the reentry field with us tonight. Welcome to the reentry journey, Angela. How you doing tonight?
I'm well. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. So, let us know about Angela.
Okay, I am. I'm a mother of three. I am a 3-time felon. Where I was. I've done over 20 plus years of incarceration. That was me going back and forth in and out of jail and prison from 1989 up until 2008, back and forth. So I have definitely been, I know what it's like to be on the inside. I know what it's like to, get out and say I'm gonna do right and then come home and do the same thing over again. And you go right back to the same old thing. And, I didn't have a drug habit, but I was addicted to money. So my thing was writing checks, and they were always my checks. So I would always get a checking account, and because I wanted my kids to have more than what I did. So I tried to make sure my kids had the best of both worlds, even though I really didn't have to do that because my mother still helped take care of my kids. But I did it anyway. So, and that came from some trauma that I had in my younger life. So things that I didn't deal with, where I was molested as a child, and and we have to, and as I got older, it made me think back to where did it all start from, and I remember that I wrote my first check when I was in the 3rd grade.
In the 3rd grade?
Yeah, in the 3rd grade.
Hold on, come on. You was in. Where was you taking the check set in the 3rd grade?
Let me tell you. Listen, I'm getting ready to tell you the story.
Oh, man.
We used to live across the street from a First Citizens Bank, and they used to throw away checks or whatever. But I used to see my mother. We used to go to the grocery store every Friday with my mom, and she would write checks to buy grocery or whatever. So when she got done with with her checks, and she might have 1 or 2 left, and if they were old or whatever, she'd just give me her checkbook to play with. Because I always play house or play school or whatever. Okay. So she would give it to me. So she went to visit my aunt in California that year, and my grandmother was keeping us, and we had to pay for our lunch. So she would give us our lunch money on Monday. I would take my money and go to the corner store and buy candy.
Oh.
And so I would spend my money before I would keep my money, and I would just charge my lunch. And they gave me a bill. And I said, I can't take this bill home to my mama. So when she went out of town and they gave me this bill, I knew I had those checks. I said, well, I seen my mama do this. So I just took it upon myself and I just filled it out. And with my raggedy cursive writing, it looked like somebody old wrote it. When the lady said, who filled this out? I said, my grandma.
Oh.
No. I did. I promise you I did. And that's the honest to God truth. And when my mother when that check came back no good, I didn't know. I just seen her do it, and I just gave it to the people. The lady said, who wrote this check? I said, my grandmother. And a couple of weeks passed, and I remember they was like, your mother's at the school. I was like, my mom ain't at no school. When I got home, that was one whooping that I would never forget.
Yeah. Ooh.
She was like, what? You know, I mean, that she put something on me. But as time, As time went on, and when I went to jail in 2008, that's when I started remembering all those things, because I forgot all about that until I had time to just sit in 2008, and all the things that transpired in my life that caused me to do what I did. I just had to really reflect on me. I had to think
Right.
about all the things that caused me to do what I did, you know.
Mhm.
And I used to blame my mother for a lot of things because her and my dad got divorced. And he wasn't there because he was in the military, so we used to travel all the time. So we stopped traveling. So I used to blame her for a lot of things. So it was like I started rebelling. I started doing this. I started doing hanging out with people older than me. I started drinking. I mean, I just did all kinds of crazy. Run away from home several times. I did all kinds of stuff, you
Mm.
know and it was and I always thought, okay, what is making me do these things? In 2008, why did I act that way? Why am I writing checks like this and I don't have to? And it boiled down to that, okay, you didn't deal with being molested because you never talked about it. Because when somebody did that to you in the Black family, was done in the house, you don't talk about it. You better not tell nobody. We said it's done, you
Yeah,
know. Yeah.
that's the way it was. What's in here stays here,
And
and
that's how it
and
was.
yeah.
That wasn't a good thing.
No, that's one of I was talking to somebody not too long ago. We was talking about that, and I'm like, that was the worst thing that you can possibly tell somebody is what's happening in his house stays in the house when
Mm-hmm.
what's happening in his house ain't right. Like when you ain't got nobody that you feel like you can't talk to, then you just hold it all in, and it as you get older, it turns into the underlying cause of other behaviors.
Yes. And that's
Man,
exactly what happened. And that's exactly what happened. And I mean, it was dramatic. I mean, I just kept going to jail. My mother bond me out. I go to jail. She bond me out. I get put on probation. She'll pay off my probation. I mean, all these things. So I said, well, no, because she always told me and my brother, y'all can go to jail for anything but stealing and selling drugs. She didn't say nothing
right,
about writing checks. So long as I kept
right.
going to jail, if I kept going to jail, she would come get me. She would take her whole income tax check sometimes and pay off my probation to keep me from going to jail or going to prison. Or I mean, she would just do though. If I go to jail for a probation violation, she'll get me right out. If I go to jail, if I get caught writing checks, she'll come get me right out. So
Mm.
this one particular time, the judge said, "I'm gonna fix you." He gave me $1 million bond. He said, because if I give you that, you can't get out. And that was in 2003. I was looking at 21 years as a habitual felon.
Mm. And so when you kept going in and out, and your mom kept bonding you in and out, paying off, did you could? I mean, outside of the reason, the molestation and everything like that, but outside of that, the fact that you knew your mother was gonna be coming through for you, like, man, I know, man, my mom's gonna come and get me up out of here anyway. Yeah, I ain't, man. You arguing with the police? Yeah, I ain't where my mama come get me. Was
That's
that
exactly what I said.
another reason why that you was doing
That's
it? Like,
another reason why. That's exactly what I would tell myself. Okay, I go to my mama come get. That's exactly what I would say.
right? Yeah, I ain't where my mama come get me.
That's exact. I get in there and they was like, "Well, you gonna bond out?" I said, "Yep." And I had people. I knew people that were bondsmen. I said, "I ain't worried about it. I'm going home." I mean, that's just
Right.
what I might have to sit for a couple of days, but I knew I was getting out. I mean, that's just what it was, you know. And then, I mean, when we think about things, our parents would enable us to do certain things.
And that's what I was gonna. That's what I was gonna say next. Yeah, they will. My
And
mom.
I told her that, and until this day we had a conversation, and I would talk. And when I came out and I started getting my life on track, I said, you know what, you enable me, you allow me to keep doing those things.
Mm-hmm.
So long as you can keep, as long as you say, well, you ain't got to work, I take care of you, you enable me to keep doing those things. You allow those behaviors to continue because you didn't put your foot down. You didn't say,
Right.
look, I ain't gonna keep doing this. You go to jail, you're gonna stay. If had she told me that, I probably would. I know I wouldn't have kept doing it. Because I know if I go to jail, I'm not gonna get out because she's gonna make me sit there. You know.
Right.
And my kids know if you go to jail, guess what? You're gonna sit in there because I'm not coming.
Yeah,
And
it's not.
I said,
My
they
I got my
already know.
yeah. One of my son already know. No, don't worry about
I
it.
told them, I tell my kids, I said, because y'all saw what I went through, you know. But and my kids were growing up, and I just thank God that my kids don't hold that against me because they knew that because I kept it real with them. I said, I
Mhm.
did what I did to to make sure y'all had a better life and make sure y'all didn't have to struggle, to make sure I make sure that the light bill had to stay, the light stayed on, y'all had food in the house, and y'all had clothes to wear, that y'all didn't have to worry about stuff like other kids in the neighborhood did, you know.
Right.
So, and they understand that. So one thing that I know, one thing that our family, I know that my family didn't do, they didn't talk to me. They didn't tell me what was going on. They didn't keep me in the loop. Certain things they, you know, I didn't tell my kids everything, but they knew what they needed to know.
Right.
You know, and I parented from jail. I parented from prison because I called home every day. So if they didn't do something, that if they did something wrong and I got on that phone with them, guess what? They couldn't go to basketball practice. They couldn't go to football practice. I don't care what nobody daddy said, you ain't going. And if I find out you went, guess what, man, you're going to have some problems when you come see me on Sunday.
Right. So I'm glad we're on this topic, and you said that because some people would say you can't really parent from jail because you're not there. I'm not saying that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm saying that's what I've heard people say that before. Like, man, you can't really parent because you ain't out here.
See, people can say that, but it's all about the relationship that you have with your child.
Right.
It's the respect that your child have for you. You know, if your child don't have respect for you and you talking to them as if y'all friends and they've been doing what they want to before you went in there, no, you can't parent from jail. No, you're not gonna be able to do it. But one thing that my kids had for me was respect. And I ain't have to beat them to do it. I didn't have to do any of that. I kept it real with them. And I want their friend. I'm not their friend today, but I talk to them something that our parents didn't really do back in the day. I hold a conversation with them. You know, there's nothing that we can't talk about, and I'm not gonna sit there, but I'm gonna tell them if they're right or wrong. You know, I'm not gonna condone bad behavior. You know, whereas some parents would be like, "Oh, he just act like that because he just get a little upset." Oh no, baby, we're not playing them games.
No, yeah, we ain't gonna do that one.
No, we don't get down like that. And people say, "Oh, I like you because you funny." No, I don't be funny. I be for real. I don't play them kind of games. I tell people all the day. The lady said, "Well, can you watch my daughter? If you don't want me to whoop her, you better take it with you, because I don't do that. I don't do
I'm from the old school. Yeah.
I don't do disrespect. That's something I don't do.
Most
Not
definitely.
at all. So, you know, in the event of that, I have gained a lot of respect from people just being in the spaces that I have been in now. I don't try to be in the forefront when I do stuff, because it's not, for me, it's not about that. It's about helping. It's about showing people that you can change coming home. It's about showing that you are reformed coming out of incarceration. You know, people think that you always got to be taking you always got to be in the front taking pictures and showing what you're doing all the time. But for me, it's not about that, because your work gonna speak for itself.
Exactly.
You know, and so I mean, I've been in this since 2013. I came out of prison 2011. I was homeless. I was in Virginia. I have no family in Virginia. I came out of here. I came out homeless.
So, what was that like? Coming out, I ain't got no family, because it's a lot of people that come out that they don't either lost family while they was incarcerated. They go, the penitentiary kick you out. Hey, this is where we at. We want you be.
I'm telling you, it for me.
What was that like? That experience, getting out, knowing that I don't know nobody here and I ain't got nowhere to go.
It was, for me, I got out of prison in North Carolina, and my mother had to bring me back to Virginia. And that was the hardest task for me, to come back here with nothing, not knowing what I was going to do, how I was going to do it. And I was on probation, and I'm like, okay, I talked to the probation officer. I was like, look, I don't know. I said, I don't know what I'm going to do. I said, what I'm going to do? He was like, well, I need you to take this test. I said, take a test? What are you talking about? I said, I'm talking about I need some help. I need some clothes. I need this, that. They worried about trying to take a test to see if I was going to recidivate. I said, come on, man. They were no help at all. But it ended up being, I had a lady, she said, well, you can come stay with me. So I stayed with her for a while. Then her son started talking about some crazy stuff. I said, no, I can't do this either. I said, I'll sleep outside first before I do all this. So I enrolled in school. I enrolled in ITT college, started school there. Then somebody said, well, you can go to school over here and you can get some money back and you can start saving your money. So I left there and I enrolled in another college and I was able to start getting money from for a student loan. I got a loan and I was able to get a hotel, and I stayed in the hotel for 2 years while I went to school. And I got a degree the whole time. I did not miss a day. I stayed on the dean's list. I worked at the hotel that I stayed in just for somewhere to stay, and I had to pay whatever the difference was. But that whole time, I didn't miss a beat because my goal was I was not going back to prison.
Okay. So what? Because me and you got a lot of similarities, and one of them is we went back and forth to prison. Like I didn't get it right the first, second, third time. It took a minute, but it finally hit. I got tired. Just like you, I asked myself, well, why do I keep being in these situations? Why do I keep finding myself in these situations? And every time I find myself in them, it's getting worse and worse and worse.
Mm-hmm.
So, what was different this time than, because you're really coming out? I'm pretty sure the times that you was going in and out, did you get out and have places to go during that time? So this is really like, I'm really going for it all with nothing, and it's easy in the environment and the situation that you got out. It's easy for somebody to say, to make choose criminality as an option.
Mm-hmm.
Before I be homeless, man, before I do this, I'm gonna go ahead and go back to what I know. And every time I recidivate and went back is because I went back for what I know, or for what I was doing in the streets. And so what was it that made this final time different than the other times?
I can say what made this time different was in 2008, October this year, October 29th this year would be the day that I got locked up. And I told God I was tired of running because I was on the run from probation in North Carolina. And I told God that I'm tired of running and I'm tired of looking over my shoulder. And I ended up getting picked up because I started writing checks here in Virginia. And I ended up getting picked up on this day. And when I went into that, when I called my mother and I told her I had got picked up and I was going to jail, and she got to worry. I said, don't worry about me. I'm going to be okay. I said, because I have a peace within me that I'm not worried. I said, I'm going to be okay. I got into that jail cell. I had church by myself in that cell. I praised God I stayed in the hotel all night, and I just praised God all night long. They kept coming in there because they thought somebody else was in there with me, and I was by myself. God showed me favor the whole time I was in that jail. I was a trustee, and anybody that has a hold on them cannot be a trustee. And then every time they went there, the hold was not there. I was a trustee. I was able to come out at all times of night to help I was the only one I was the go-to person. I was always helping the chaplain. I mean, God just showed favor.
Yeah, you was on the move in there.
God just showed, he just showed favor.
Right.
When I was in those 21 years when I left North Carolina the last time, I went back to court for those 21 years. The judge told me, he said, this is what I'm getting ready to do for you. I'm taking those 21 years back, because if not, I wouldn't be here today if he gave me those 21 years. And they were boxcard. He took back those 21 years and gave me 6 to 8 months in prison.
Oh.
So when God showed me favor.
Yeah. Man.
And ever since that time in 2008, I have not looked back. I just been looking straight ahead, because I said, God, if you get me out of this time, I meant what I said. I promise you, I will not go back to what I know. And I have not. And it's been 13 years since the last time I got in trouble.
So, man, so now, we on the reentry journey. You start your reentry journey off with homelessness. But you knew what you wanted. You knew what you wanted, and you knew what you didn't want. You knew you didn't want to go back to prison, but you knew what you wanted, and you weren't just gonna settle for anything.
Mm-mm.
And so you going to school, things starting to turn around. How did the House of Dreams come? When did all this come into play?
The House of Dreams came into play September 2013. A lady I was going to school with, she knew I was at a hotel. She said, "Look, let's do this." She said, "If you can come take care of my goddaughter for me, and you can come stay with me, and you can take care of her for her to go to school, well, I don't have to get up every morning." She said, "You take care of her, and then you come stay with me, and you don't have to worry about paying anything." And me and her went to school together. So I ended up moving in with her. And I'll never forget, I was laying on the couch looking at TD Jakes, and God said, "Now I can use you." I got up, got on my computer, and just started searching ReEntry. And once I started that, I got on the move. I went to a ReEntry council meeting. I started going to the different city council offices. I just started going everywhere. I went in every space that I could get into to ask them what were they doing for ReEntry. And I began to share with them why I was interested. Because I said, because I'm one of those ones that y'all did not help. So I said, I don't want somebody like me to come out and they go back and not get the help. I said, because for me, I said, because I was strong-willed, but you got people like that's not going to be like me. And I said, so what are y'all doing? And they was like, well, we're trying to figure out this. I said, no, y'all can't do everything with a book. It don't come with a book.
No.
I said, so this is my thing. And then I tell people, I said, nothing about us without us. I said, so if we ain't at the table, y'all ain't got nothing to talk about. I said, because y'all need people like us to tell y'all what needs to be done. I said, because if we ain't at the table, what y'all talking about?
Hold on. I ain't just going to let you just drop that bar and then not repeat it. I need you to repeat that again. We just ain't going to let that slide like that. I
said, nothing about us without us. If y'all talking about ReEntry, or y'all talking about helping those coming out or those that's inside, and you want to see what they need to do for ReEntry or to help them not recidivate, I said, y'all need us to the table. You need formerly incarcerated people, not no convict that you want to call me, and not no felon, because that's not my name. I said, if you want to call me something, call me Angela, or you can say a formerly incarcerated woman, because anything outside of that, I'm not going to answer.
Right.
I'm not going to do it. I said, because you need to learn the language. I said, because evidently y'all ain't get the memo.
Nothing about us without us. Man. But that's for real. And why is it important to have people who've been through the situations, that been there and done that in these reentry programs? It basically really need to be running these reentry programs and being involved. Y'all need to bring our programs inside the prisons, inside these other reentry things y'all got going on out here. Y'all need us. Why is it important to have us?
See, and here's the thing, that they don't think it's important to have us, because they think that those that has the education are the ones that got all the sense. And they think that they're the only ones that got book sense. But like I tell people, I said, I'm not one of the ones that y'all say, oh, well, put it in the book because they're not going to read it. I said, I read everything because I'm a bookworm, because I like to read, because I can read a book a day. So I said, for me, put it in the book. So I ain't like everybody else. So put it in the book for me, because I said, so if you put it in the book, just know I'm going to read that book, because I want to know what you're talking about. I said, you got some people that won't read that book. I said, but ReEntry is not a book problem. I said, ReEntry is a people problem. I said, because people like us are not going to listen just to everybody, because if they never been there, they're not going to listen. They want to hear life stories. They want to hear real life lessons. They want to hear from people because they want to know, how did you make it? They want to know how I made it. How you come home and you didn't go back. I had a conversation with a senator last Friday, and I told her, I said, this is what's boggling my mind. They keep saying the recidivism rate in Virginia is low, which is not true. It's not true by far. I said, the only difference is Men and women are coming out of prison. I said they're not committing the same crimes that they did when they went in because they've done so much time. You have a lot of people coming home that don't know how to cope, and they're not doing the same thing. So they're not correlating the two together because they're doing something different than what they did the first time. So they won't think, because they're thinking if they do the same crime, they're gonna get hit as a habitual, not knowing that the habitual felon law don't even exist in Virginia no more. So they go do something different. So therefore, they're not recidivating because they're not doing the same crime anymore.
Right.
So it don't count.
That's interesting. Yeah.
So in order to recidivate, you gotta do the same crime again. But if you don't do the same crime again, you're not recidivating.
I don't know about that. So I mean, I guess that would be
that's how they count it. That's how they count it.
That's how they count it.
That's how they count it. If you do the same crime again, that means you recidivated.
Right.
But if you don't do the same crime again, you didn't recidivate.
Right.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, I'm sitting there thinking like, I don't know about that. Yeah.
But that's how they count it. That's exactly how they count it.
To try to keep it low.
To keep it low.
That's crazy. So they saying, so you go back to prison 4 times, but you didn't recidivate because you didn't do what you did.
If I go out here right now, prime example, I'm going to give you a prime example. I was with somebody in 2016 and they stole, they tried to steal so they stole something, some kind of trinkets or something, and they ran out the store. So they didn't get them. So I'm walking out the store, so they stopped me. And so when we went to court, I knew I didn't have nothing. I got a lawyer, and I had a lawyer the whole time. Do you know they still gave me time for that charge?
Wow.
And guess what they told me why they gave me the charge? The judge told me, he said, the reason why I gave you this charge is because you already were in trouble.
You was already in trouble.
No, he said you already was an offender. And this is what I told him. My exact words, I tell anybody. If I'm an offender, you are too. Because the word offender means sinner. So we all sinners.
Right.
That's what offender means, is sinner.
And
people don't, and I see, I have to give you the spirit. I get the spiritual side of everything. So you want to call me, you want to talk about offender, let's talk about it. Because if I'm one, you want. At the end of the day, if I'm a sinner, you want to.
Exactly.
Because that's what it means. But yeah, and he gave me 5 years because I knew the law and I knew what they could and could not do to me. They had no evidence, no nothing. Nothing. All because
you was an offender.
All because I pulled their whole card and I wouldn't let them do what they wanted to me.
Right. Yeah, they don't like they don't like when you stand up and stand firm for yourself and what you believe in and have faith in as well. And yeah, they'll play hardball.
And I do that all the time.
Yeah, that's
I do it all the time.
Yeah, that's crazy. So somebody getting out of prison, somebody getting out tomorrow, they on YouTube, they stumble across this interview. What advice would you give them?
Somebody step out and getting out tomorrow, I would tell them, for one, make sure that they are prayed up. And if they know someone who just came home or that's been home for a while, get in contact with them as soon as they can. And to find a reentry program with someone that's formerly incarcerated already, or a reentry program that's actually doing the work, not somebody that's trying to get numbers, but somebody who's actually doing the work, somebody who's done put it in, and they not just trying to get their name on the roll so they can get some more money.
Right. And that's what you mean by numbers. Right.
Because that's what a lot of these reentry, that's what a lot of people do. Oh, come on in here and sign this paperwork and we're gonna get back with you. And you don't ever hear nothing back because they just want to put your name down. So when it's time to go back and get these grants and stuff, they got the numbers to prove that they can have people come through their facilities and stuff like that. That's all they
Yeah,
do.
they get your information. Yeah, we need you to fill out this paperwork. We're gonna get with you. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's crazy. So I got two more questions. One
Go
of
ahead.
them, the first one is, what are some of the things that it take? I always say the transition that you really have to make overall reentry would be transition from a criminal to a civilian, and that's the mind state.
Okay. Okay.
The mind state of you can't think criminality as an option.
No. And you definitely can't think that. For one, you gotta have a strong mind. You
Right,
got to make sure that when you leave up out of there, that you started changing your mindset way before it was time for you to get up out of there. You should have been changing your mindset a year or two if you had that much time before you came up out of that space.
right,
Um, and then and definitely just making sure that you know who you are, knowing who you are as a person, and not letting anyone tell you any different. Because if you don't know who you are, then people can try to run over you and can try to degrade you and make you feel bad about yourself. And that's what happens with a lot of us, because we come home and they say, oh, you've been to prison, and we begin to feel bad because we've been behind the wall and things of that nature. No, don't let your situation define who you are, because that was your experience to share with somebody else. So when you come out of there, you share your story, because your story is going to take you to it's going to take you to the next level. So as long as your mind is right, and you're not, and you know who you are, and it made you a better person, then you're going to be able to help somebody else, because what we've been through is not for us, it's for somebody else. It's to help the next person.
hmm exactly. This is the question I ask everybody because the name of the show is the reentry journey. We all got a journey. We all admit to similar things, but we all got our own journey.
Hmm.
If you got one word to describe your journey, what would that one word be and why?
Grateful. And
Mm,
that's because had I not been on this journey, I wouldn't be where I am today. It wouldn't have made me who I am today. So I'm grateful that I had the experience that I had, because it made me a better person. It allowed me to know who I am. It made me do some self-reflecting, and it made me a stronger woman. So I'm definitely grateful for that.
okay. So what's next? What's next for Angela in the House of Dreams reentry?
What's next for us is we are doing somewhat like an angel tree, but ours is geared towards teenagers 13 to 17. So
Okay.
we're looking for any type of help when it comes to that, because we want to be able to help some kids that have mothers or fathers that's incarcerated that are ages 13 to 17, because we know at Christmas time those are the ages that seem to be forgotten.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody think about the younger kids. So we're definitely looking to do somewhat like an angel tree for them, so we can make sure that they have something under the tree for Christmas, like some clothes, maybe some shoes or something. I've already talked to different vendors and stuff like that, maybe getting some donations and stuff. So that's what we're looking to do for Christmas for them. And we have what we call Wonder Woman Wednesday, where we have, like, it's called Dollar Wednesday, really, where we ask for $1 donations so we can help women that's incarcerated to get them commissary, or help pay for any type of medical things that they may need inside and stuff like that. So those are like the two of the couple of things that we have going on right now.
Great. And so we got a couple people that's been on leaving comments, and one of Linda is actually in Virginia. So it's been people tuning in. So if they want to get in contact with you, where can they find you?
They can find me on my Facebook page, which is Angela Antoine, or either they can go to the House of Dreams Reentry Consulting page that way. And I'm also on Instagram with House of Dreams Reentry, or they can definitely hit me up at 757-272-9765.
All right. Um, Linda says she got you. Did you get that? Did you get that number, Linda? Linda says she got you. She says she found. She says she. Linda is the connector. That's Linda been rocking with me from day one. That's the connector.
Okay.
She knows people who knows people who knows people.
Oh, that's good then. That's good then. That's real good.
You see how I found. You see, I
Listen,
found you.
I've been
I'm
trying to get
contacting
inside the
you now.
women's prison for a minute.
I found you and contacting you now. She's finally, it's not a game with her, Linda. I love her, Linda.
I definitely
That's
appreciate
my
it. I
man.
definitely appreciate it.
So again, we appreciate you coming on the reentry journey, sharing your story. And while you on, I haven't forgot. I know you're like, man, you're supposed to be helping with the speech and with the speaking and stuff. Like, I haven't forgot. I'm actually wrapping up. I've been mentoring this younger lady, and she's into she's trying to become a speaker, and she got this I don't really know her full story yet, but she got this amazing story about her grandmother that she's building a speech up about water and how the water correlates with this.
Oh wow.
Yes, it's amazing. And so I've been putting a lot of time in that, but I haven't forgot you. I promise I haven't forgot
Oh,
you.
that's fine. Trust me. It's okay. I
I
know.
really, I really want to, because I love working with people working on speeches, because like speaking is my thing. Just the storytelling
Mm-hmm.
and letting people tell their stories and how they can better off their stories, and so I'm really looking forward to it. But we're gonna get to it, and when we do,
Okay.
it's gonna be fun. I appreciate you coming on the reentry journey.
I definitely
Make
appreciate
sure
you.
make sure you get in touch with Linda.
I will.
I'm pretty sure she probably sent you a message. She'll reach out, and maybe later on down the road, a year or two from now, we can do an update and see where we at. Hopefully by then we be done. Did some work together. So
Yes,
that's
yes.
what I'm all about. Everybody in this reentry field, everybody's doing their thing. I like for all of us do our work together, because we all coming from the same place. We all
Exactly.
got the experience. We all know what it takes to be successful. We all know, and I think the more of us, we all get on the same page, and we push this agenda that us as formerly incarcerated individuals coming home with these reentry programs are needed and are a must. Y'all got to let us in.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to
Mm-hmm.
let us in.
That's right. So we can do this.
That's right. And so you have a great night. Thanks for
You do
joining
the
the
same.
reentry
Thank you.
journey.
Thank you.
And once again, we appreciate you.
We appreciate you as well.
All right.
All right.